guys. Welcome to another episode. This is another episode where Mike Barron is actually recovering from shoulder surgery, and I kept telling him, the older you get, when you get surgery, man, it takes a while to recover. Mm-hmm. But anyways, we have I got to do this because I thought it was funny, and you guys will think it's stupid, but we have Rot and Sorry here.
That's good. So yeah, that works.
That sounds like a comic title almost.
Rotten Sorry, or
like Itchy and Scratchy, or
yeah.
The wacky adventures of Rotten Sorry. Is he a Canadian? Is he apologetic? Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah. Exactly.
Sorry.
Exactly.
I'm sorry to our friends to the north. I apologize. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't.
I know.
Well, I'm wearing red in support of the Canadians. So, yeah, most of the people who know me, and if checked out stuff or they knew Mike and they checked out our thing, and then they're like, who is this guy? Then they've seen Pistol Fist. They know I'm into Revolutionary War stuff, and I like stuff like that, and steampunky things and things like that. And this is. STEAM Patriots is the comic that they're doing. This is number 2. They did do, it was about a year ago when you did
a little over a year.
You did the last one. Yeah, and
super successful.
Yeah, it was really good, and the campaign went well. This was with Silverline, which we have a lot of friends and stuff that are involved with Silverline, and we've interviewed quite a few people actually that have been involved with that. But yeah, so I'm really happy to have these guys here.
So we're buddies, Coast Guard buddies.
Right.
We were stationed together in Buffalo, and we took a boat on the West Coast. 6 days underway. It was not a Coast Guard vessel. It's my vessel. It's 6 days transporting a boat from Seattle to Ketchikan, and we'd been brewing some stories in our mind, and we took the time. We hashed it out, and it's one of those stories that we don't know whose idea it was. We really, his idea in mind.
Right.
So we had this steampunk idea, and then we'll talk more about the story. But I have always been interested in writing. Rory has as well. I know that. And once I got out of the Coast Guard, I used my GI money to finish my degree, and I got it in creative writing for entertainment from Full Sail University.
Cool.
And while finishing my degree, there was a comics class.
Yeah.
Sequential art, cartoons, and that sort of thing class with Roland Mann.
Yep.
And I said to Rory that our story we had originally had a publisher. He wanted to do it in a series of novellas, and that worked. Mm-hmm. It was a great idea. He wanted to do some transmedia stuff with interactive things, and he had big plans, but then it fizzled because of his budget, and it was fine. So it went on the back burner for.
We were very, very fortunate that he handed the rights back over to us. I mean, he could have just walked with it.
So
that's very professional of him.
He let us have our property back, and it sat on the shelf for a few years.
He probably thought, "Nah, this will never sell."
Right. If I'm not involved with this is never going to
rubbish. So. I said it fits perfecly into the visual of sequential.
And how many pages we had? How many pages written of the book first?
Well, yeah, you had we hashed out quite a few story arcs. We had we had our storyboards and our
it was massive
our timelines and our lines and in our Revolutionary War
conspiracy theories.
Exactly.
And it was text message after. I probably have 3 phones that I have to go back to look at all of our text messages from 10 years ago. I was in Philadelphia telling them we got to do this, and I ended up doing a National Novel Writing Month, a NaNoWriMo. I don't know if you're familiar with that. And I got about 42,000 words done, and I got the story from beginning to end. And Rory helped do a little bit of editing with it, and it's some of it's awful, some of it's terrible because it's just seat of your pants, pretty much, just go right nonstop, don't edit. And we threw out tons of it for the comic book, but it was great in having it develop our characters for the STEAM Patriots world, and so that's how I got into comic books. I've always loved reading comic books. I've been an on again, off again reader, getting married, having kids. I can't go have all my pulls, my stack of comic books when my kids want food. It's one family wants to eat.
They're
Ramen noodles. The comic book medium just melded perfectly with what we wanted to do.
Yeah. It was so visual. We'd be doing it a disservice. We'd be robbing it if we didn't make it a comic book graphic novel.
Yeah.
It's too cool not to.
Yeah. So how did you get into writing or whatever?
So when I was younger, when I was in high school, I really wanted to do something artistic. So I was in all the art classes, and I realized that I was god awful. So I was like, well, if I can't draw, maybe I can write. It turned out to be pretty darn good. So, I mean, I was satisfied with my level of writing. So I just continued on with that. And I've actually had a book published elsewhere that I'll never see the light of day ever.
Yeah.
And I just kind of rode Scott's coattails in onto Silverline.
Now you can use AI to like rewrite your book for you.
So. That's true.
Right.
Oh yeah.
and do the art
and art. Yeah, it's good. Scary now.
Yeah, the art.
Can I ask the AI to program a publishing company and a comic and a marketing plan?
Right. Oh yeah.
All done.
Just sit back and let it happen.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I was born in '87, so like I didn't get the full height of the '90s.
I graduated in '88.
I got the height of like the cartoons in the '90s, but like not so much the comics. But as I got older, I got into it, and it was whatever the local library had, because I couldn't afford to go out and get comics. So
comics weren't that great in the '90s anyway. So
no,
they were.
Well, that's good.
There were few and far between. Actually, in all seriousness, a lot of, especially toward the end of the '90s, there were a lot of really good indie stuff, but indie stuff wasn't selling well. So it was extremely hard to find because it just wasn't selling well. So then a lot of the stores weren't carrying it, and it was just it was not a pretty thing. But when you guys, I am curious, just because it does seem like you guys did put a lot of thought into the world. Are you thinking about doing other things in the world other than this story?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we have to stop ourselves from writing those things, because the potential is almost limitless, because we would love to follow Felix chronologically. Yeah, I mean, we have to stop ourselves from going to. We want the Barbary pirates, and we want the War of 1812.
Right. Yeah.
And we want have him be an older guy, and telling I'm too old for this kind of thing, and get pulled back in the war. Yeah. And by then,
the possibility for character crossovers is and all the big names at one point met.
In real life. I mean, I mean, Steuben and Lafayette and Washington. Mm-hmm. There's a really cool guy. There's going to be a movie. I don't know what it's going to be on. I don't know if you've heard of Peter Francisco, but he was a 6-foot tall guy that carried a sword. Amazing
Washington
story.
had made for him, right?
What's that?
Didn't Washington
had the sword made for this guy? It's just another cool. There's so many cool characters.
Who carries a sword in the combat anymore?
Yeah.
Right.
So we've thought we do one shots.
I was going to say one shots for stuff like that.
Yep. And one thing we didn't want to do was have Felix like flitting around the country, Magic School Bus style, being there, Patrick Henry and the Southern campaign. No, we're not going to do it.
Make it his fault, the Liberty Bell crash.
Exactly. We've got a Daniel Boone idea. For the folks that have been paying attention, Rory and I dropping hints all the time about what Felix's brother is up to. Mm-hmm. That story is gonna happen. And Rory's been working a lot on that. And I'm sure you.
So I throw them up like clay pigeons, and Scott just shoots them down.
Nope.
Like,
Stupid. Nope.
Rewrite.
That will work. No, there's so many ideas, and we grabbed the Revolutionary War timelines, and we look for big events, but we also look for things that either there's not a lot of documentation on, or maybe somebody wasn't there. General so and so was sick, and so that's all you have. So we want to use that because we don't want to steal from real people, and we also don't want Felix also to be that like Forrest Gump, where he's
just so happened to be there.
So we're trying to weave him in Ben Franklin does leave very early. He's gone the whole time.
Yeah, most of the war.
So
Yeah.
people who paid attention again to the first Kickstarter campaign, we had a patch that we created, the first Boiler Battalion, and down the road, Felix is going to be in charge of that. There's going to be,
cool.
Almost like an armored division or whatever that we would have now.
I can't even think what it is, but like in the last year, there's a pretty cool like steampunk Revolutionary War role-playing game that came out.
Yes,
cannons and
something in cannons.
Yeah,
and actually, I'm going to assume they don't mind us mentioning them. I sent them an email a little while ago, and they got back to me. Their campaign actually, I think, starts on the same day as ours. April 11th.
No way!
Yeah.
Nice.
We'll definitely have to back
Nations and Cannons, and it's on the 5th edition D&D rules.
Oh, perfect.
So I'm excited, and I haven't had a chance to respond to their email. We would love to cross.
We have to have another. We should have a new launch party for the second one, and just be playing that.
Play D&D.
Yeah.
Play D&D.
Make it up as we get.
Nonstop.
How did you decide to bring the steam power in when you did?
So we've probably read more books and done more research than some PhDs out there.
Right. Oh yeah. When you're doing this stuff, yeah.
Right. Like, can I just get an honorary degree in colonial history?
1/1000% makes it into the book.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. The rest is on the cutting room floor.
Yeah.
So doing all this research, we realized there actually was steam-powered machines and batteries and technology like Gatling guns. Like, there was patents for all this stuff out there. It was just too expensive to make in mass.
Right.
So we're not making up entirely new history or technology. It's
a
lot of it was there. We will get a little fantastical with it because we can. It's story fiction, but it was out there.
And we when we were thinking, so we were both like, the steampunk stuff's really cool. We love it. Love gluing gears on everything.
Put a cog on it.
Put a cog on it. We the steampunk thing is cool, but we thought it's always like middle of the 1800s, Victorian, and it's already always established. They've got the steam machines, they've got the everything, the steam jetpacks, and we said, well, there's got to be an origin.
Yeah.
Why not steal it from the British and make it American and make Ben Franklin the guy being the at the forefront? He did not invent anything. We don't want, but so he perfected we have Franklin boilers, and there's going to be Franklin boiler knockoffs that blow up, of course.
Right.
His is the tried and true. So we said, well, let's make it at the end of the 1700s, and so it's still all very raw and rudimentary. It's still a mix of wood and iron.
Leather belts and
leather and stuff that's going to break down. It's only like this much more convenient than a horse sometimes. Lots of steam and smoke. We wanted it to be super inefficient, and we thought that's just great visuals too. These these machines that are, and you have to do 6 levers to go forward. They take It's so
4 clutches and
and we didn't want it also to be so prevalent. We wanted it to be part of the story, and we
grow with it.
It's kind of something we wrestled with when we were making the books, because people are expecting a lot of steampunk, and it's not very overt in the first few.
Sure.
It's there, so I hope people aren't displeased with that, but it's present. And the second issue
makes it more special. It is there.
We can see, like, it starts as a low fantasy, right?
Yeah.
And it gradually becomes high fantasy. It's a build. It's a world thing.
Yeah.
We've got a cool scene in the number 2 coming with a cool carriage. There's if you read number 1, you knew that there's this weapon kind of thing, this electrical weapon.
Yeah.
And then you might get might see it in the second issue, and our artist has done a good job with that. And Mickey Clausen did our colors, and he did a fantastic job. He knew exactly what we wanted. With the lighting, there's some electricity, and the whole feel for it. So super excited for people to finally see the continuation of this story.
That's the tough part about independent crowdfunded comics is like, oh, get the second issue or a second part a year later. That's the tough thing. That's where it's almost like good, because I've thought about that too. I'm like, it's like, you know what I need? I need like 3 artists and like 3, and just have this rotation going. To be able to put the stuff out in a more timely way, so that people. Because that's what the real comic fans like want, but it's like it's so expensive. Most steampunk stuff is very much against kind of the powers that be, those in control and stuff. So really, Steam Patriots
dystopian,
fits in that
anti-tyranny.
It definitely fits in that, going against the crown and stuff like that, and that authority. And like you guys are saying too, being more like rough and raw and not so perfect. Which is, gritty. I mean, it's some of the charm of steampunk, anyways. When things
get dirty, get gritty.
Yeah, Rory and I are going to be going nonstop, trying to promote on all of our social media platforms, and it's a lot of work when you don't have a publicity department to do that for you.
If you let it.
Yeah, it's definitely it's not easy, and it's. And one of the things that I do love about it is a lot of the people that are, not everybody, a lot of the people who are doing the indie comic stuff with crowdfunding are loving what they do. Yeah. Because most of them do not get many supporters, and it's like and there are some artists and some different people, and that's the thing. Like I've turned down some people that. I had one younger guy, and he's just like, well, we only have like 15 supporters. I was like, yeah, but those 15 supporters, because this is a while ago. It's like they paid like the $3,000 or whatever that we needed to do this thing. I was like, so they all invested quite a bit, and he's just like, yeah, but I'm not. He's like, I'm not. Yeah, but 15. I'm like, dude. I'm like, okay, goodbye. You can. I literally gave him the rights to the thing I was working on with him, and I said, it's fine.
It's yours.
You got to be. It's like you don't realize how big of a deal that is, and it's like you especially when, I mean, obviously any little thing that people give helps.
Oh yeah.
When you add it up, and then also, the people that give a lot that you don't expect, and it's like, wow,
it's humbling.
Yeah, it really is. They can order any as add-ons. Any Silverline title. So we're teamed up with Beyond the Stars, and it works out really well because we're both the second issue. Ron Fortier's book, great sci-fi story. So they can back at whatever level, and then they can do add-ons. They can add every Silverline title if they want. And I recommend buying 10 of Steam Patriots.
Your friends and worst enemies.
For everybody. Yeah, we have 3 different covers, so we'll have 3 cover options,
and they're all freaking.
They're
amazing.
all awesome. Quentin Bedwell, Peter Clinton, and Rodo. 3 covers, which. Shameless plug, please go to our Facebook at Steam Patriots, Instagram, and so forth. We're doing a cover reveal contest. If you like, share, tag somebody on any of our posts, you got a chance to. We're going to give away 11 by 17 prints of the covers, and we're going to make them one of a kind, unique. We'll sign them. That's going to be April 5th. We'll reveal that. So during the campaign, there will be. The basic levels of backing for getting the comic, but our stretch goals too. We've got some unique stretch goals, and I know things could change between now and the 11th. But we are planning. We have a short story for one of the characters that's going to be in Steam Patriots 2 and 3. An 8 or 12, however, page short story that will probably be digital. If it goes really, really well, again, don't quote me. If it goes really, really well, we'll be able to print it and add it to the comic. But printing gets a little, printing gets, price is always make huge jumps when you add pages or that sort of thing. So we have an extra story that could be unlocked as a stretch goal. I'm going to cut a record. It's not going to be great.
Cool.
It's going to be because I don't have a studio, but I play banjo and I can sing some songs, and I've got friends with instruments, and we're going to make at least a few songs. Some of them might be Revolutionary War. Some of them are going to be 1800s sea shanties. That's going to be a stretch goal. Yeah, I wanted it to be different.
Yeah.
And Rory and I are saying if we're going to create a brand around ourselves, we'll do stuff we like too. There will probably be the usuals, the bookmarks and stickers and so forth as add-ons and stretch goals as well. And because ours is mostly digital, we don't have a lot of original art. I don't know about Beyond the Stars. There might be original art because I don't know if that was drawn old school by hand. I don't know.
We have some prototype art from years ago that we possibly could use.
Yeah, we'd have to. It's still all digital. We can add that as unlockable stuff for stretch goals. But
I like having the highest goal, the highest tier being you pay X amount, we draw you in.
Yeah, we did add that last time.
Kill you.
That last time, Rory's buddy is in the end of issue 2, and my brother-in-law did that. He's not in this one because I have an idea for him, so he's got to be patient. I feel bad. I wanted him to be in this one, but I have a better idea. He might die. I'm not sure. We'll see.
Yeah, some people like that, man. Some people not dying and stuff. It's like, you got somebody to kill, let me know. Like,
I'll be that guy as long as it's dramatic. I say this a lot when we're promoting all the campaigns. I love what you're saying about having that core of really good fans, and then being able to give them those extras. When you're doing a live stream and you can show work in progress, or you're doing a campaign, they can get those extras that they can't get anywhere else. And part of building a great fan base and a great story world is having those fans that want those things. So when I see our Boiler Battalion patch, it warms my heart. It's really cool. And then to have somebody ask us, when's the next one coming out? Or I saw you at the convention.
I got an email from somebody at one of the conventions. I was like, Florida, blown away. Yeah, it's our first fan mail.
I'm not crying.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
It feels really good. And I had another message. Someone asked me if I maybe want to do a talk at a library. I guess I'll do that.
I had a literature professor, and he asked me to spend a day teaching his class on the whole process.
It feels good. It feels really
out
good.
to Full Sail too. I got to Roland had me on once or twice or something for one of their classes, and I gotta say, and I said it to them too, because their class, because I've spoken to other classes and other college classes and different things, and the comic class he had, man, they were super sharp and they did their research. I mean, the stuff that they were pulling out and asking me, because we had kind of a Q&A in it, man, they did their stuff and they knew what they were talking about. And so, I mean, kind of which obviously gives some credit to Roland too. If he needs it, but
I liked that everything was geared toward your profession. So I was able to work on STEAM Patriots for a couple of my classes. One of them was developing new worlds, and that's where I jumped into all the research to show, what did people wear, what did they say, what were the politics of the time,
how J.R.R. Tolkien can I get?
Right. So and I love that world creation as well. I love that side of it. Fun. I know that some people don't like the world building aspect. I love it. I love having that mountain of knowledge to draw from. And like we said, and even if you use 1% of it, I think it comes into the story. It shows this mountain of books behind me. Really, I haven't read any of those. I managed to. I lucked on an auction. Wow! It was like $60, and the whole back of an SUV,
6 shelves.
and most of but like getting like steamboat stuff,
right?
And
Yeah,
Ben Franklin there.
Mhm.
I have read chunks of a bit of it, and we're working doing a lot of John Paul Jones research.
cool.
And so Rory visited earlier in the month. He's got the John Paul Jones journal open, and I got the history. John Paul Jones, we're geeking out on what happened on April something of 1776. but by November he was off the coast, so and we love it. I love that stuff. You look at Benedict Arnold's stuff, like George Washington was his advocate for such a long time, and Benedict Arnold he acted like a child so much, and then Congress was like, heck no, we're not paying for everything you just bought without any receipts, and he got all mad. And so from his perspective, they're a bunch of butt heads, and from their perspective, he's a hothead, and but the guy gets shot in the leg, and he wins this battle and that battle, and then he does so. All of that stuff. Those letters, and how they all had time to write these letters. And then
what else? Well, they didn't have Netflix.
They weren't,
and they didn't have video games. And they didn't have role playing games. It's like
you're lucky to have.
What am I going to do? Let's see. I'm sitting here staring across a field at the British. I'll write a letter. We've been here for months.
Exactly.
And Ben Franklin, like the war, he's 70 years old when the war started. Yeah. And this guy, the stuff that he did. When did he sleep? It's pretty incredible. And a lot of them. There's the stuff that they. So if you search Steam Patriots, there's something like in England. It's about like trains, something that and because we searched all over because when this idea we really took form in 2012 when we had a publisher and so forth. But we couldn't find anybody. We did try. So our publisher, we got a lot out of it. Publisher had a publicist, and she did a lot of great connections for us, which why our Twitter account is, I mean, it's not amazing, but Twitter account she was running it back then. It is funny though, and I don't know if you've run into this, when you get the real historians, it's like having a violin player ask them to play the fiddle. They will not. There's a lot of historians who won't touch our story with a 10-foot pole because they don't want to lend their name to made up stuff. And I get it. It's fine. We've reached out.
I mean, they're wrong.
But they like the organizations, they can't say this historical society,
American Revolution Museum probably
stamps,
will not be.
Our stamp of approval. We'd love it because we've offered. We'll come talk. Whatever. I don't know.
They actually really get into it because then they do find out all the crazy, wild stuff that is true. That is like.
Real history is always crazier than anything you can make up.
Especially from that time period. I mean, there's just so many like big characters and stuff too on like both sides, and but especially in the colonist side. I mean, man, they had I mean, it's just treasure trove of incredible.
The Adams boys.
Man,
rabble rousers.
We realized it was too many people. To introduce, and who are you, and what, we have to give you dialogue because we have
and then you have to give them all screen time. And it's like, okay,
no,
I have more important people that is more with the story
and 22 pages. And I like dialogue. I know. I don't.
A writer who likes dialogue.
Right. Imagine.
So I have to trim. I got to trim all my stuff down because I don't want it to be all pages of text. Which actually, I like words in comic books.
I'm sure you would hate for it to just be all text.
Actually, Rory, do you have it right there?
I don't have it right in front of me.
There's a book.
I can grab it.
Kevin Costner and some guy, Baird, Baird, right? It's a mix of prose and sequential. It's really good. It's a hardcover book.
Interesting.
It's all like sepia tones. And I love it. It's a great if you like that
kind of cool.
Late early 1900s explorers and so forth. It's just really good art. Amazing. So I love if we could turn Steam Patriots into something like that as well to expand the story. Because you can there's a lot you can do with prose and that narrative style that you can't do with comic books, but
and Kevin Costner is an honorary Coast Guard senior chief, so maybe
there is
no
really?
Explorers Guild 2, maybe Guardians of the Guard.
right, something like
Gaul
or whatever. I like that movie. I didn't read the book.
Guardians of Fern Gully.
No, stop.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the Coast Guard, are you guys ever gonna do a Coast Guard story thing?
Well, Alexander Hamilton. I know everyone has seen Hamilton. Everybody has. Yes, he is the father of the Coast Guard. That was the revenue cutter service that was started in 1790. We do want to throw that in, and getting to War of 1812 and so forth, Battle of Lake Erie, not necessarily the Coast Guard, but the maritime services that were in existence. We would love to start throwing that in. Coast Guard didn't have a name until 1915, but its parent services got mashed together. Lighthouse,
Steamboat Inspection, Bureau of Navigation. Something like a Steamboat Inspection Service, we could definitely do something.
Cool. Oh yeah.
That lends well.
Yeah, it would certainly work. So we have a billion ideas.
Yep.
So send us all your money, everyone, so we can just write and make these.
The
perils of lighthouse keeping. We've run out of whale oil.
Yeah, a whole lighthouse comic book.
Up, down. Well,
better than words all over the place.
Okay. Words are overrated.
It is. Well, it's a tough balance when you're doing comics to not cover up the art.
Right. Go to steampatriots.us, at Steam Patriots on all the just about all the socials.
Right.
And then Silverline as well. You search Silverline Comics because we put all our links all over the place right now. If you don't have the money, or you're not interested in buying something, you can just throw some money to it. You can just support it without a reward. It's always but share it. Please share it. And if you mention us, tag us, and if we love to co-promote, we're not so we're a couple of schlubs making a comic book. If you got something that you want to co-promote, and we'll give you a shout out. We'd love that sort of stuff. Because we got to stick together. The little guys we can do it.
What is it? A rising tide lifts all ships.
Something like that. And the cover contest, we love it. That's a great thing to share because and then we'll get you an 11x17 if you're picked. Just share, and share, subscribe, all those things that we need.
We're working on a list of cons we're going to be at this year.
We'll
be putting that out.
Rory's in Ohio. I'm in Western New York, so. We try to stick to this up here. We went down to Florida last year, and so fitting cons in with our budget as well. But if folks, that's the big ask. Please like and share.
And you guys' stuff is pretty family friendly,
correct?
Right?
We want to keep it pretty PG-13 a little. We got a little bit of violence and. But
we killing redcoats.
I think there's a dam in there.
And with water, you're saying?
Yes, there is. Yes, big dam. We keep it pretty family friendly because we want kids to read it and get excited.
And the reason why I bring that up is because there's not that much family friendly stuff on Kickstarter.
No.
There's a lot of extremely sexy or extremely horror gore and stuff like that, and that stuff sounds like crazy.
It does,
and so does the stuff by big famous people. But so if you want to help support stuff like this, and like they said, they're not trying to rewrite history or anything. They're just trying to get people interested in it. Any final words?
Thank you for your time, everybody. Thanks for watching. Wonderful. If people watching the show, we have Silverline shows as well. Of course, you'll see it all on all our socials. So we'd love if you check
the shows out. On Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yep. And we talk all things comics and pop culture and movies and storytelling. There's usually a Star Trek and a James Bond reference, Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. So if you like all that stuff, we geek out on all of it. We'd love to have you.
And
you're welcome to join us too.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
Is that on YouTube or?
Yes.
YouTube, Twitch.
Gotta get on
Facebook,
Rumble, man. Everybody's going to Rumble now. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
We're not, but all the cool people are.
Yeah. We the Comics Madness, right? Comics Madness Network with Pops Van Zant. He blasts that out there everywhere. So it's out there. So if you just search Silverline Comics or Steam Patriots, we try to hit every avenue we can, and a lot of great people.
Wednesday night show is the best show.
The Wednesday night show by far the best.
That's where it's at.
No prejudice or.
Oh no, it's just a fact. It's just a fact. It's observable.
Okay, I'll let you guys go.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, it's been a blast.
All right,
see ya.
See ya.
Thank you guys for being on.
No, thank you.
Thank you. My goodness. Yeah.
Making my beard feel inferior.
I know.
Get on it.
I was like, I feel bad like looking at Scott, but I feel terrible looking at Rory.
Rory, if you just kept it like that, there'd be no one would know how far it went. I give you package.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, if you guys do stuff together, like you should have him above you and give you long hair.